Okay, let's shoot a little video here on a finished project. This is a 2018 Ram Promaster 2500 159 wheelbase. This was brought to me by a customer that wanted me to finish it. They had started the project. They had already mounted the solar panels and the Weboost antenna and the max air fan, a couple windows. They had the floor put in, as you'll see on the inside, the passenger seat swivel, and they had a bunch of the supplies already. They intended on doing the project themselves, but either due to health issues or time, they brought it to me to finish. So as you can see here, I did relocate the Weboost antenna. It was on the curb side. I relocated it to the driver's side, away from the limbs and everything. And let's open the back doors here so you can get a look from the back. The lady that owns this, she wanted a higher mattress support here in the back, so it didn't feel like she was falling off the bed. They wanted a table on the back of the door here, so I put this lift up table, and I also made it adjustable. So whenever you swing the door all the way around, you can actually adjust this up or down to keep it level. Or if you're back here using the shower or whatever, you can make it level depending on your terrain. I put a dual 12-volt USB and a 12-volt regular outside plug on the back, so either you could plug your phone in from the bed and charge it, or if you're out here, if you have your little water pump for your outdoor shower, that's 12 volt, you can plug it in. They have a 30-gallon water tank that they provided, and they wanted it mounted above the wheel well. And I mounted the water pump and accumulator tank right close to it. This is the dump, so you can drain the tank. This here is a 10-liter diesel tank for the Chinese diesel heater that I mounted up front, and a 3-water filter system. They also had 2 6-volt 400 amp hour 12-volt or batteries, so we've got them hooked up into a 12-volt system. They also had the Ames 2000 watt inverter charger, and then there's the kill switches along with the fuse and all the wiring. It's all marine grade wiring. They went with a Morningstar 60 amp charge controller, and then we used the midnight breakers. And they also had the Blue Sea automatic charge relay, along with the it's a Blue Sea fuse block. So let's go around to the front so you can get a better look at this system. Okay, as we come up here from the side, they didn't want any other windows. They've got a little one here. They've got another one just above the sink. So as we open it up, get the first look of the inside. Here on the edge of the seat, there's a 120 plug that's run off the inverter. There's a dual USB and a 12 volt. as we go up here, you'll see there's also a sorry about the train noise. There's also a voltage gauge, a 12 volt, a cigarette lighter, and a dual USB. And that's also the light switch and the dimmer for the 4 kitchen lights or living area lights here. And this beautiful Pacific cedar plank ceiling. There's your Weboost, your inside antenna. There is another light switch dimmer for the under cabinet lighting. And then there's the window above the kitchen sink. I also framed it in cedar as well. And then there's their butcher block countertop with 3 layers of epoxy, the glaze epoxy. And then we did a lift out insert. And they've got a nice and she also wanted a soap dispenser as well. Now something different that we did on this one, they wanted an electric dump valve for the water tank. So I mounted the electric dump valve because it has a 7-gallon water tank. That's mounted down underneath the sink. And the electric dump valve that comes out of that tank is under the refrigerator down here under the toe kick. Now, under the toe kick there is an air vent that allows the refrigerator to get ventilation. And there's also another vent right here on the side. So that's going to let air in and out of from underneath there where the refrigerator is. And it allows for the Chinese diesel heater that is under here okay, with the vents underneath the refrigerator and the vent in behind the fridge on the side of the cabinet, that allows the diesel heater to pull enough air supply in. And it also has 2 vents here to blow toward the back of the van on this nice little carpeted step, so whenever you got the seat spun around, let me back up a little bit here, you've got some place to put your feet. That way it's a nice little step there. And then down here, this little switch here is to activate or turn off the isolator in the rear that come with the Blue Sea isolator. That's a dual USB, so when you're sitting here in the passenger seat, you can charge your phone, laptop, tablet, whatever. And this right here, that's the dump for the 7-gallon gray water tank that's under the sink. So as we come around here, the owner, she also wanted a nice little pull-out cutting board or just extra counter space, so we added that. It's a piece of 1/2-inch birch plywood wrapped in oak, and it's got 3 layers of polyurethane on it. And then she's got a nice little deep silverware drawer or spice drawer. And then we also have 2 nice big full extension drawers here. Another one there, all dovetailed. And then we also have a nice little short drawer down there that she can put her dish towels or whatever in, because of the water tank being back there. I couldn't make that a full depth. So, alright, so on to the pantry slash closet. They're not quite sure yet what they want to do, whether they want a full pantry or they want a closet, or to change it up and go half of each later. So I went ahead and put them a curtain rod in here, or a closet rod. And there's their Weboost. They already had the cable ran for the Weboost antenna, so I was kind of limited on the space that I could put that. But I think that's high enough up out of the way that it won't cause any issue. Now, if they want to, in order to use this as a closet, there's 2 screws on each side, and these 2 shelves can be removed. Or they may decide later that they want to put a divider in here and just use half of it for hanging clothes. That's entirely up to them. I left them multiple options. And she could also put a nice big mirror here on the back of this closet door. They all have push button latches in order to keep the doors closed. She also wanted 3 nice big drawers here to put their clothes and stuff in. So, let's see, the only downside to these buttons with this configuration, but that's what the owners wanted, so that's the way we built it for them. There is 3 of these drawers. I believe they're 20 inches deep, 24 inches wide. So they're nice big drawers. Same with these drawers here. Yeah, these are nice big deep 24 inch. I think they're 24 inches deep, 10 inches tall, and I believe they're 21 or 22 inches wide. So they're nice big deep drawers. Now the owners also wanted a nice pull-out table, butcher block table, that would accommodate 2 people to sit on the bench. I also have a footstool that goes here that also hides their porta potty, and it makes this bench a full 6 foot long, 24 inches wide. So if they did have company in this area, they could sleep there. But for this table, it is a nice big long. It does have 3 coats of epoxy on it. And just because, even though these are 500-pound drawer slides, whenever it gets out that far and you go to putting pressure on it, I did add this leg that just folds up, and it sticks up there with a magnet up underneath. That's it. It'll sit right there. It will not move. So if they want to use the leg, they can. If they don't want to, that's fine. It's not even in the way. But that's it. And it makes the table nice and solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. That's the floor, I promise. So let me push this back in here. Lock it in place. And then under here, that's a complete storage area. that is 15 inches tall, 24 inches wide, 48 inches long, and that's the pattern that they picked out for their cushions. This is the area for their full-size mattress. And then overhead cabinet storage. All of them have gas struts on them, soft close hinges, and push button locks. We did relocate the factory light, enclose the corners, both corners right there and over here. Them are both removable, so you can get to the brake lights and stuff in the back to replace them. It's just a matter of taking out 4 screws on each, and that whole thing comes off. So it's easy to get to if you're on the road and have a brake light go out. And then this little section here, I made this as a lift up so you could get to any of the electronics if you need to, or if you need to turn off any of the battery disconnects from inside rather than having to go all the way around and crawl up underneath the back. And then here on the bed side, this is the dimmer and the light switch for the bed area. There's a dual USB and a 12-volt plug, and then she also wanted a reading light. So that was a light that she provided. So they had probably 90% of the stuff to do this build because they've been collecting for a while. They just brought it to me in order to finish. They're supposed to be here tomorrow to pick this up. I'm sure they'll be glad to get this back. I'm tickled with the way it turned out. It's got foam board insulation with Reflectix over top of that, and then denim stuffed in every place that you could get in, without the foam board. So I'm looking forward to them to see how it turned out. Again, if you need help with your project, whether it be a full build, partial build, whatever, feel free to contact me at redscustomdesign@outlook.com. That's my email. You can visit my website at Red's Custom Design. You can also check out my Facebook and my Instagram. And then, like always, of course, here on YouTube, I would appreciate a subscribe, a like, click the little bell notification so whenever I do put up videos, you'll get that notification. Tell your friends, share the video, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. Thank you. Okay, this here's the footstool / toilet / storage area. This is the dimensions that she wanted. I actually downsized it just a little bit. And that's their little porta potty. There's a little bit of storage area in the back. There's room up underneath the lid here. She could put her toilet paper holder or whatever. And that just closes down. And whenever you swing the seat around, you've either got a footstool or it's a little extra seating for the bench area. So that could now makes a 24 by 6 foot seat. And then this will be able to slide up right here if they need it. Now it's slid up there in front of the bed or traveling or whatever. It's out of the way. So now you can get back in and out of the door.